welcome to Lone Star Park at Grand Prairie. What a beautiful night it is, and what a difference from 24 hours ago. It started to rain last night when we signed on here, and the wind was blowing sideways, and I wasn't properly dressed for the foul weather anyway because I didn't study up enough on what was going to happen. And it was a wild and somewhat abbreviated show. But tonight we got 12 to talk about, including 3 different paint stakes, the Olympia Joe and the Texas Hero Juvenile and Futurity. So let's get right on to it. I'm Jim Byers. This is Rodney Nelson. We've got a dozen races to look at. First race, scratch the 2 also eligibles, number 9 and 10. It is an 870-yarder to start today, a starter optional claimer, 3-year-olds and up. You can be in for $20,000, or you can have started for a price of $10,000 or less last year of this.
Yeah, I went with the horse on the inside, Dazzling Drama. Gets the Lasix back tonight. Hadn't seen Lasix for about 6 races or so. Last time out, this horse ran in a stakes race, finished third in that race, missing about 3/4 of a length. Another third-place finish in the race before that. Now, those were the only 2 races for Dazzling Drama this calendar year, but went from 440 to 550 last time out. Going to make that left-hand turn tonight, first time at 870. I like the inside draw for this horse. Give me Dazzling Drama on top here over J.J. Carter, the 8 horse. I think this is a pretty good horse, too, but I'd rather have that inside post than the outside post in one of these 870 races. But J.J. Carter, this horse has a lot of speed. We should see this gelding right on the front anyway, I would imagine, get hustled up right after the break. Has a lot of experience running this distance. 5 times has hit the board in 4 of those 5 starts. J.J. Carter, my second pick. And then I got the 6, Super Fragilistic, as my third choice. Your top choice, so I'll go let you talk about that one.
Yeah, I'm hoping to get a little bit of a price on him. Dazzling Drama is dangerous for me. He's really the one to beat. He draws the rail. He's first-time Toby Keaton. Keaton is very good with horses first time out. Dazzling Drama is taking on the hook for the first time, but he's from a thoroughbred stallion. I like to see thoroughbred breeding in either the sire or the dam in these 870 races, although it's not why I would pick a horse. But all that being said, I liked the fact that Super Fragilistic is a little more established at 870 than some of the others in here. And last time out, there was quite a bit of traffic in the stretch, and this horse got blocked. Didn't really get a real clear run through the stretch. Probably wouldn't have beaten Master Reigns that day anyway, but was only beaten a length. Closed ground well. I'm hoping he doesn't fall too far back today. But I have a feeling that with his closing effort, maybe he can get up in a race where J.J. Carter, as you mentioned, has a ton of speed, but is going to have to use a lot of it from the outside. Dazzling Drama, first time at 870. Sometimes they go out and just whistle. Sometimes they get a little tired. So I'm hoping the closing effort might help. Super Fragilistic. Let's go to race 2. Lots of contenders in here. 250 yards the distance, the racetrack chaplaincy of Texas Purse. An optional claimer here. You can be in for $25,000, or you could have been a non-winner of 2 races other than certain conditions this year.
I got number 4, Mad Indian. See, we're on the same horse here. 5-1 morning line on Mad Indian. I thought that last race was a pretty impressive one out here. Won that race by a length. Kicked it in toward right at the end. It was a 250-yard race, just like this one tonight. I like it. The horse has run this distance 3 times, has 2 wins out of the 3 starts, is undefeated right here at Lone Star Park. That's where the only 2 wins for Mad Indian have come. Go ahead and give me this one for back-to-back wins. Number 8, Liverpool TLC. That's going to be my second choice here. Last time out, this horse was in an allowance race right here at Lone Star Park. Finished 8th in that one, so let's go ahead and toss that race. Horse tripped is what the comment says, and I would imagine after you trip, it's not very easy to get back and get right back in it, especially in an open allowance race, right, at 110 yards. You pretty much
there's not much time to overcome trouble. He also got bumped at the start in that race.
But, this horse does have a couple wins at 250. If you look 2 starts back, that was a pretty decent race, a third-place finish at 250. Had a win back at Delta Downs in June. I think Liverpool TLC can have a good run. And then I got the 6 Angels Blood as my third choice. A 5th last time out, but had a win and a third in the 2 races before that. One of them coming at 250. So give me it 4, 8, and 6 here in race number 2.
Yeah, Mad Indian in dead heating for the win last time went very, very easy, I thought. Modesto Pena, the jockey, never uncocked the whip. He just kind of had it backhanded along the way, and he did dead heat for the win, but he went a lot easier than I say watch and see the other half of the Winded Heat, and that doesn't really matter. They were a length clear of the third-place finisher anyway. Very strong effort. I'm going to take him right back off of that. Over Angel's Blood, who comes out of a pretty tough heat. I mean, Picasso Jess, Charlie's Fast Man, Fire-Eating Cowboy. That's a pretty tough optional claimer he was in last time. And through the summer and into the fall, he's been in pretty good form. Track Cover Girl last time out ran a good fifth in one of those 110 races, earned an astronomical e-speed figure. Maybe that's because it's such a short race. I don't know, but that's an out-of-character high e-speed figure for her. But if that holds up, she could be really tough in here. On to race 3. 2-year-old maiden fillies going 400 yards in this one.
I went with number 2, Thug Rose, right here. Last time out, this horse was a fourth-place finisher at this 400-yard distance. Before that, went a quarter mile, missed by 3/4 of a length in that race. Those are the 2 best races for Thug Rose in her short career so far. But I do like that the horse does have some longer races, that 400 one being key. Not a lot of the horses in this race have ever been this distance, but I think Thug Rose can get the job done. I got the number 9, Steady Heart, as my second choice. Missed by a length last time out at 3:30. Before that, missed by a head at 3:30. This horse has been able to run well. The question mark is the one time this horse went 400 yards was well beaten in that one. Just didn't have it that day, but we'll see if 400 is too long for Steady Heart, or it was just an anomaly that the horse didn't run well that day. But I got the horse picked second. And then I got number 10, Invested, 20-1 on the line as my third choice here. 3 races for this horse. Comes from the outside. Last time out was in a futurity trial down at Retama Park. Very first race was a futurity trial at Delta Downs. Had a maiden race mixed in between those two. But that maiden race, even though it was a 7th-place finish in that one, was only beaten by a length. So I think Invested coming out of those 2 futurity trials, or having some futurity trials with some tougher horses probably. We'll see if this 20-1 horse can't outrun those odds today here in race number 3.
Yeah, I've got him third as well. He's kind of back into reality now. I mean, he was 30 to 50 to 1 in those trials, really overmatched. But in that middle race, the one at Delta, he ran pretty well, as you mentioned. And then, in the other races, he was just completely overmatched. I took Steady Heart on top. Had the rail last time, draws outside this time. Lately, it hasn't really made a lot of difference where you've drawn. I mean, for a weekend, it looked like you didn't really want to be inside, but then the inside got good. It's typical racetrack stuff. They've been winning from just about everywhere, so I don't mind that she's drawn toward the outside, though, in general. Comes off a string of pretty good races. I'm going to take Steady Heart and swallow that short price. Thug Rose I took last time. She ran just on Halloween. She's coming back fast. I picked her at 3-1. She disappointed me. I hope I didn't jump off the bandwagon too fast, because I didn't include her anywhere on the picks, just out of spite more than anything else. Race 4, no show wagering on the 4th. It's the Olympia Joe, Paints and Appaloosas, scratch the 6 Ancestry, and this one I think is a true 2-horse race, both from the Matt White Killer stable. We both have the 4 on top. They met in a stake on October 12th. And they were both even money. And Livewire's Turnpike has developed a habit of missing the break and fumbling the break. So I think that's why we're both on Wiretap.
Exactly. That's why I'm on Wiretap, because of Livewire's Turnpike missing the break occasionally. But Wiretap, I mean, this horse is solid. Last time out, crossed the finish line first in that race. It ended up being disqualified and placed last in that race. It was still able to get up there and cross the finish line before all the rest of them. But if you look back at this horse, all these races, I mean, even in defeat, it's only separated by a neck or a head, always up there toward the front. Give me Wiretap on top of Livewire's Turnpike. This horse is a perfect 4 for 4 at 400 yards, so that's going to be hard to beat. Has finished in the exact 3 of 3 races right here at Lone Star Park, 2 of those being wins. I think this is a 2-horse race. It's going to be fun to watch this Olympia Joe Stakes between the 1 and the 4 here. But as soon as we say that, one of these long shots is going to jump up and get us.
Well, Matt White Killer, if you're not familiar with him, does a tremendous job up in Oklahoma. He has a lot of really good quality paints and apps. And so he dominates this one. Livewire's Turnpike last time after missing the break and getting bumped pretty hard partway through in a chain reaction, actually ran pretty well. But I just think his stablemate's a little sharper right now. On to the 5th. Boy, I thought this was a toughie. $5,000 claiming 2-year-olds. These are maidens. Scratch the 2 also eligibles, 11 and 12.
Yeah, we ended up on the same horses here. The 3, Jess Chantal Perry, top choice for both of us here. I know what you mean about this being a tough race to look at.
I mean, we ended up on the favorite, but I still think it's one of those favorites that you're a little careful
I thought the same thing. We ended up with the same top 3.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what are you going to do here? Our same top 2.
Yeah.
But just Chantal Perry, I mean, last time out, a lot to be desired from that race. But the 2 races before there, we see at Retama Park, this horse just missed by 3/4 of a length in her debut. Followed that back up, just missing by a neck in that $10,000 maiden claiming race. That one came right here at Lone Star Park. She was up there in front most of the way down the racetrack. But maybe cutting that 30 yards off is going to help this filly out. So Give me the number 3 on top. 7, Corona Good Times is my second choice. That last race was pretty decent. Missed by 3/4 of a length at 250 yards. That was at this $5,000 level. So she was able to compete at 250, add another 50 yards on, and see what she can do tonight. And then number 8, first-time starter, JTC Twice Pink. I'll roll the dice and take a first-timer here because well, the other ones haven't really shown me anything to get too excited about. But 3, 7, 8 is how I see the 5th.
Yeah, frankly, once you get below the 3 and the 7, it does become quite a crapshoot. So I took the first-time starter 4th myself. Just Chantal Perry, you know, the one race that she did run well was for a tag. The other races were against better maidens, so I'm going to take a shot. We're going to have a big group here tonight. A bus just dropped off, and the aroma of the bus and the sound of the engine take me back about 10 years to my hockey announcing days. You'd come out after a game, and the bus would be waiting for you. You'd smell that diesel, and it'd be fun. Your night was over, and you get on the bus and go somewhere else. But a big bus just dropped off a whole ton of people, which is good to see. On to the 6th. Maiden claiming 2-year-olds, $25,000 the tag, 400 yards the distance, so they stretch out a little. Scratch the 11 and 12.
I took number 9, Cholito's Love. So we've seen this horse out here twice so far this meet. I think I've picked this horse both times. Hadn't been able to win for me yet, but ran 2 solid second-place finishes. The first one, this horse was in for the $20,000 tag. Ran a good second in that one, missed by a length. Most recent race, went a quarter mile in that one. Missed by 3/4 of a length. Beat Thug Rose, who I got picked earlier on. I didn't see that before, but Cholito's Love for Juan Diaz Jr. I mean, he wins a ton of races. Victor Urieta aboard tonight. I really like this 9 here, and I'm confident on this horse. I know you don't have the horse picked on top, but I think Cholito's Love could run really, really well tonight. Number 10, Eagle Leader. That's going to be my second choice here. You know, this horse was in a maiden race last time out, missed by a length in 3/4, was in a futurity trial in front of that. I mean, this horse has been in a lot of tough races. Comes down here, I mean, in for a tag for the first time, even though it's $25,000. It's a pretty decent size claiming price for our races out here, but Eagle Leader being 10-1 on the morning line, I think this horse has a shot from the outside to outrun those odds. And then I took number 1, Aries War Wagon, as my third choice. Comes in here off a second-place finish last time out. Now, that was for $7,500, so this horse is taking a big step up to 25 tonight, but we'll see what happens from this horse from the inside. I got it 9, 10, and 1 for race 6.
Before I talk about my top pick, as far as Cholito's Love, last time he and Thug Rose ran, I showed video because I like the way Thug Rose ran third in that race because Cholito's Love is that horse. He just walked out of the gate. I mean, he could not have gotten a worse start. And then he bolted to the outside, and, I mean, Urieta was literally hanging on, trying to keep him from the outside fence, and he wound up running second, which was, I mean, he was beaten 3 parts of a length, but he finished in front of Thug Rose. I thought it was an interesting race. I just don't really trust Cholito's Love. I think he is the most talented in here. If he gets a halfway decent start, he could win by 3 or 4 lengths. We'll see. But I'm taking the 4 Point Peak Senator, first-time gelding. So mark that in your program. He is a first-time gelding for Toby Keaton. Last time out, I'd toss that. He broke in. He bumped a rival. Didn't run well at all. Ran dead last. This field isn't necessarily any easier than that, but he has a couple of good races on his ledger, and Keaton has a way of getting better performances out of horses when they've had issues the time before, so I'm going to try him. Race 7. Start of the pick 6, carry over $920. Maiden claiming 3 to 5-year-olds going 220 in here. Scratch the 11 and 12.
So I took Zeph Dynasty King. That's the number 3 horse here. 2 out of the last 3 races, this horse has run second. The most recent race was 220 yards right here at Lone Star Park. Missed by a nose that day. I think Zeph Dynasty King can beat them all here at 220 in race number 7. Number 2, RJT Welcome Back Carter. That's going to be my second choice. This horse has only had 1 start so far this year. That was long. That was 550 yards. Came back at the beginning of the month. Was well beaten in that race, but that was the first start after just about 11 months off. So I like the horse is making his second start after a layoff. Going from 550 last time out, shortened it up to 220 yards. I don't think it's going to do anything but help out number 2, RJT Welcome Back Carter. And then I got the 8, Little Bailey Girl, as my third choice. Missed by a length last time out. Best race of this horse's career. Went 220 yards. We'll see if this horse can't repeat that. I got it 3-2-8 in race 7.
Yeah, Zeph Dynasty King last time ran outstanding. Just a terrific race. Improved in every category. I'm going to ride that hot streak and come right back again. Little Bailey Girl's my second pick. Dropped and ran pretty well, as you mentioned. I threw Bellatrix in there for third. Took on winners last time. $5,000 level, same as this. But took on non-winners of 2 and was actually 8-1. And, was well beaten, 7th out of 9. But now gets back in with maidens, against whom she ran okay a year ago here. But that race against winners was just a comeback race after almost a year on the sidelines. Race 8. That begins the pick 5. Carry over in the pick 5, $1,486. These are maiden 3 to 5-year-olds not in for a tag. Going 300, scratch the 11.
I went with Know It All, number 8. This horse has had a lot of experience, 11 races so far in his career. Doesn't have that win yet, but has finished on the board in 6 of those 11 races, including the most recent ones. I mean, if you look back at how this horse has done this year, he's finished in the money in 5 of 7. Missed by a neck last time, ahead the time before that, a half. So, I mean, this horse has been right up there close to the leader in most of those races. I'll take Know It All on top. I got number 9, Genuine Sicario, as my second choice. Only 1 race for this horse, but hey, that was a close-up second last time out, missed by a neck. Comments say the horse was bumped in that race, so hopefully a little better run down the racetrack. We'll see Genuine Sicario have another nice run. And then number 3, Discretions, is going to be my third choice. Comes in here off of a real close one last time out, missed by a neck. You can see this horse was behind early, 9th place, before making up some ground from 2 lengths and missing just by a neck in a real short 220-yard race. But I'll take Discretions as my third choice here.
I'm going to go with Genuine Sicario. Second-time starter, was 14-1, really outran his odds in that race, despite being bumped outward a little bit at the start. Finished very well. Showed me enough to take him right back. Know It All, though, is coming in off 2 really good races this meet and a good, summer as well down at Retama. So, if you like horses with a little bit more experience, he'd be your guy. I'm going 9.85. RC Assassin shedded the Lasix last time, ran 6th. Comes back at the same level today. Could be better, so I threw that 5-horse in for third. Race number 9 begins the late pick 4. It's the Texas Hero Juvenile. These are 2-year-olds. They went through the trials. Scratch number 4, Painted to Be Quick, and number 5, Favorite Turnpike. There's going to be an overwhelming favorite in here. She was the talk of the trials, if you will, at least around my spot. And she blew the start, unfortunately, and that was that.
Vesper Martini didn't have the best start last time out, but, if you can overlook that, I mean, you see why this horse is all of our top picks pretty much. I mean, this horse has been winning a lot of races, has won 5 of her 10 so far in her life, so has already won $100,000. A lot to like about Vesper Martini. I took number 3, Pop, in second. This horse has been close up in some races, too. Still a maiden, though, out of 8 tries. Does have 4 seconds and a couple thirds, so 6 out of 8 this horse has hit the board. But, I think it's going to be a tough task for Poppin.
Yeah, I think so,
and
too.
And then number 9, Ferona's Turnpike. That's going to be my third choice. 20-1 on the line. Last time out, this horse was beaten by 2 1/4, but had some trouble in that race. You look before that, this horse didn't always have the best finishing positions, but was never really beaten by that much. Had a pretty good year up at Remington Park, picked up a win, a second, and then those other races, this horse was only behind by 3/4 of a length or so in some pretty decent races. So I think this one at 20-1 are some big odds. Might come in and finish in the mix. So, take a swing at one of my second or third picks,
Matt Whitekiller has a bunch in here. He has 3 in, and he had a 4. Actually, he has 3 in, and he had 2 that scratched. So might as well take a Whitekiller. I took a Whitekiller for third and P.T. Cayley. Vesper Martini, got out slow and got bumped a whole bunch of times at that last race, 2-5. Prior to that, won the pot of gold, a grade 1 up at Will Rogers. Was reeled off, as you can see, 5 out of 10 wins. Poppin', she's really going to have to be popping tonight. And if you know what I'm talking about, you get it. If you don't, you don't. I do that for Carl. But Poppin' is one that I think at times she has run against quarter horses as well.
I would imagine so.
On to the 9th. On to the 10th. We just did the 9th. 10th race. I think this one's tough. 3-year-olds and up, non-winners of a race other than maiden or claiming, or you could be a non-winner of 2 in here. They're going 250. Scratch the 2 also eligibles.
So I got number 5, Toastin' Corona's top choice here. This horse was a winner back at Sam Houston earlier this year. That was back in May. Followed up with a couple lackluster races after that, but Retama and here at Lone Star, this horse just missed by a neck in the 2 most recent races. If you look, there was a common horse, Queen of Drama, who was a next out winner as well, ran up against that horse in both of these races, but I think Toastin' Corona's could be the winner tonight. Number 7, this chick's a zoomer. That's my second pick. I would like to pick this horse a little higher, but the trainer, Paul, he always tells me when I pick his horses, they're bound to lose. So, no, that's not the reason. But I hope he has a good run with this one. I think this chick's a zoomer can run well. Last time out, this horse was beaten by 2 lengths. So let's toss that one. It looks like there was some trouble in that race. The races before that, this horse had a win, followed that up with back-to-back seconds. I think this horse can run. Has done a lot of running at 250 yards. Half of her races have come at this distance, has a win and a couple seconds at the distance. So I'll take the 7 second. And then I went with number 9, Cause Debut GL as my third choice here. This horse was close up last time in an allowance race at 250 like we're running tonight. Missed by half a length in that one. I think this horse could be pretty decent. 5, 7, 8's how I see the 10th.
Yeah, and I'm very similar, so we don't need to belabor this. I went 5, 8, 7, but Toastin' Corona's very sharp. The barn's been doing well. Only has 1 start this meet, but it was about a month ago. Not too much time off, and just the fact that Toastin' Corona's was facing horses like Jaeger and that Queen of Drama, who just seems like she's popping up everywhere and winning races everywhere. I just hope that this horse gets out well and runs well, because I think that on paper he is the best. On to the 11th, the Grade 1, Texas Hero Futurity, Paints and Apps, 106,907 in the purse here. Scratch the 6 Knuckle Buster out of this race. This is interesting, because we mentioned Vesper Martini had to settle for running in the juvenile. She would have been the favorite, in my opinion, in this race had she gone in it. And left this to be kind of a wide open race. And Knucklebuster was one of the factors in this race, and he scratched. So it's interesting here in this. Now, you're going with Flying Cholitos. I was wondering I figured you'd go with him, but I didn't know. I thought you might go with Amachili.
So that's
right.
The toss-up. The reason I went with Flying Cholitos instead of Amachili, I remember during the trials I picked these horses back-to-back, was because Flying Cholitos did set the fastest time out of the trials to come in here. So you got your fastest qualifier here. I'll take Flying Cholitos on top. Won that race last time out. We'll see. We'll see what happens, but I think this horse could be fast enough to do it once again. Amachili, my second choice. This horse is, has 3 wins out of 8 tries so far. Has never finished off the board. Always seems to be right there. Won his trial race as well. I think it's going to be a tough battle between the two Cholitos horses here. And then I got number 7, El Gran Martino, as my third choice. This is another horse that's been close up out of the 8 tries so far this year, finishing the money in 5 of those 8. Ran second in the trials out here. 2 Flying Cholitos, my top choice. I got it 287 here in the Texas Hero Futurity.
I had a hard time zeroing in on who I wanted to use on top. I took I'm a Chili mainly because I went and rewatched all the trials. I'm a Chili was definitely getting tired late. First time at 400 yards, which it was for a lot of these horses in the trials. But he was so blindingly fast early that he drew off early on, length and a half at the first point of call is a big lead in this sport. Maintained that big lead down to the final 100 yards. It narrowed. I mean, the runner-up Moonpike almost caught him. But I just think that big burst of speed will hopefully serve him well here, and he might be a little bit fitter, a little tighter having done that 400 yards. So I took him over OG Nicky 6, who was the only qualifier out of his trial. He ran away with his trial, and it's kind of a philosophy. Do you like a horse that looks impressive? And his time was only 7th fastest. He didn't have as much to beat, but he did it very impressively and seemed to love the distance. So I took him second. Flying Cholitos, he could easily win. I mean, he ran a tremendous trial. And if he's able to duplicate that trial, he probably will win this race. But it's very interesting. The 7-2 favorite on the morning line was Knucklebuster, and he scratched. So now it's anybody's guess who might be favored in here. 12th and final. Scratch the 2, Contractual. Scratch the 11 and 12. 12th race, maiden 2-year-old fillies. Super high 5 jackpot carryover. $33,602.
Not a bad carryover for that jackpot super high 5 at all. So I'm going to scratch into a horse here. I did have Contractual on top. I get Take My Name now. That's the number 3 horse. Last time out, this horse didn't really do much, but the race before that at Ruidoso Downs was in a futurity trial. Ended up running second in that one to Ariat. A lot of us know Ariat, right? So, that was a pretty solid race. I'll take My Name on top. Number 9, Cowgirl Chick. That's going to be my second choice here. Comes out of 2 futurity trials in New Mexico. If you look at that very first race, maiden race at 350 yards back on the 9th of June, you see that this horse was only 3/4 out of it when they hit the wire. But shortening it up to 250 today, I think this horse could show some nice speed. And then number 7, Rosie, my third choice here. 4th place finish last time out. Was beaten by 2.5, so it was a pretty big margin of defeat there. But this horse had been running out west too. I think John Stombo and Ali Rivera are going to team up and have a nice run on Rosie today.
This is a race where, you've got Take My Name, your top pick, ran credibly against Ariat, who was the fastest qualifier in the All-American Futurity. Ran a pretty good race here. 5th, beaten 3 lengths. It was a clean trip, but getting back off the mountain and running here, and could be really good, wheeling right back for a barn in Heath Taylor that's been heating up. I wound up taking Cowgirl Chick basically just on the drop, just hoping that she speeds up a little bit on this class drop, coming out of an All-American trial. She hasn't shown necessarily, except maybe for start 1, a great deal of early gate speed. She's going to have to get it going 250 here. But I took her on the class drop. Take My Name, a big contender. And I like Cinco La Nina as a contender as well. First-time starter. Seems to have, with one exception, laid down some really nice works getting ready for this. So I think the 6, your 4th pick, my 3rd pick, might be one to watch. At least watch the tote action. See if they're betting her, like when Rodney's doing his preview and there's not a lot of money yet in the pool. See if somebody's dropped some money on the 6. All right. Should be a really interesting night of racing. 12 races, beautiful conditions. We're glad you've joined us. Rodney will be down here with his previews throughout the night. Thanks a lot for looking in, and enjoy your Saturday.